What up, guys? Welcome back. It's another lovely Monday here. I hope you have your coffee and your water because my day is off to an exhausting start. I got maybe 6 hours of sleep, probably closer to 5. I have been having the hardest time falling asleep. I've tried like taking melatonin gummies. I've tried just, doing the whole thing where if you're not sleepy, you don't lay in bed, and that kind of works. But last night I was just sitting up until like almost 2:30 in the morning. Granted, my cat was like weird and like acting funny and seemed like she wasn't feeling well, so I was happy to stay up with her anyways, but like I don't think I crawled into bed until about 2:30 in the morning, and that was after Dave got up and was like, "My dude, would you please come to bed?" So, and then at about 5:30 this morning, we got woken up to Irish vomiting everywhere. Irish is my cat, if you're new here. She's very ginger, very chonky, and she vomited on the carpet in our bedroom, which is the only room with carpet, as well as the rug we have in our living room. And she puked again this morning, like when we got up around 9. So I don't really know what's wrong with her. My guess is she got into something in the yard she shouldn't have, because that seems to be something that happens about this time every year, actually. We figured out last year that it was probably the thing, the thing in the stuff. The catnip plant. She just does not seem to agree with it, so we actually ripped it out this spring. But she still like goes into that back corner of the yard and kind of shuffles around and like looks for stuff. She's also got a bad habit of eating grass and then puking it up. So I mean, it could be a number of things. Right now she's very depressed up in her cat tree in the living room. If you guys want, I'll post a picture of her to Instagram or Twitter or something later so you can see her pathetic face. But we're gonna wait and see if it kind of goes away, because this is not the first time she's gotten sick like this. Like I said, it kind of seems like it happens around this time every year. So our hope is that it just passes through her system and then we're good to go, because taking her to the vet is traumatic for everyone. Me, my husband, the cat herself. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But yeah, so there may be a second cup of this in my future, or a tea or something. I hope you guys are having a lovely start to your week. I hope your weekend was relaxing if you didn't have to work. And if you did have to work, I hope that you don't work in customer service. And if you do work in customer service, my thoughts are with you, because I worked customer service for far too many years and I understand. So I feel for you, my dudes. I don't remember what we were doing, to be honest. It's only been 2 days, 3 days. But I've been reading a lot of fan fiction. So I don't know where I am in the game right now. And you know what? That's okay. I'm not ashamed to admit that I like fan fiction. Hi, dog. Do you have anything to say?
He wasn't like this in Lothering. I think he misses the open fields.
Come on, let's play Fetch the Invisible Ball.
Poor thing. Maybe he'd be happier if we brought him with us more often.
I bring him all the time.
But if he's with us, who'd keep Gamlen's debt collectors away?
Take it. I'm sick of what's-his-name staring and panting.
Gamlen, honestly, a Mabari understands what you say. Try using his name.
What's wrong with dog? Really easy to remember.
Is this where we enter a name for our dog? Ooh. Okay, what should we name our dog, guys? When I play Origins, I always name the dog Barkspawn, because I feel like that's just a really good fucking name for him. But in this one, we could make it cheeky, name him like a Viscount or something like that. That could be funny. There was a story I was reading on Tumblr the other day where someone named their dog Sandor, which I just thought was kind of adorable as a dog name. We could always name him like Goose or some other bird name, because your character is Hawk. Maybe Goose. That could be funny. Let's name our dog Goose. Hello, Goose. Oof. Aww.
I'll let you sleep.
You're so nice. Okay. Beth, do you have anything to say?
I hope Mother convinces the Viscount
No.
to give us the estate.
What should we do next? We could go to the alienage. Oh, we do. You know what? I remember what I was going to do. We said, always take Varric. We were going to go and pick up Meryl. We'll do Varric, Fenris, and Anders. Interesting group. Let's go. So we have the Bone Pit we could do, the Abandoned Ruins, the Sundermount Ambush Site, and Sundermount. I think we'll go to Sundermount, and we'll start Meryl's quest, and then we'll see where it takes us. I did do a mod where it gives Hala to the clan in Sundermount, so I hope it worked. Fingers crossed, because that would be really cute to see just the little Halas around, because I kind of love them, if you can't tell. Gang. There will probably be enemies abound. Oh, wild herbs. Don't mind if I do. Anything else of use? Oh, I actually do have something really funny to tell you guys. For anyone who's new around here, I'm a voice actor. That is something I do in my spare time. I have not been able to get consistent work in a long time, just because of AI taking over and, you know, several other reasons. It's hard to find work these days. But, I got... I can't talk and kill things at the same time. I've been getting a couple, like, random things sent to me for auditions here and there, and one of them was for an Otome game that they are voicing, and I won't say the game just because I already told some of my friends, which I probably shouldn't have done. I'm not really supposed to talk about my work before I actually, like, book a gig, but it's an Otome game, and they're looking for a voice for the main character. And when a friend of mine, my friend Ketu, owns the game, and so she played through a little bit of it so I could see kind of like what this character is, what was expected of me. When I tell you I was dying laughing, you guys. This is the weirdest Otome game I've ever seen. I don't play them. Like, I will watch my friends play them on Discord. They'll stream and, like, we'll all do different voices, like Monster Prom and shit like that, and that's fun. But this was another level of just... I'm not one to judge people's taste in entertainment, but I am confused why people find it interesting. What can you do? Work is work, right? So I'll do the audition, but I'm just like, this is for an actual game. Like, this would be the first thing on my IMDb at this point. Because everything else I've done has either been NDAs or it's, like, internal videos and shit like that. Like, private stuff for companies. This will be the first, like, public record thing I've done. And the idea of that being on, like, a Wikipedia page about me or something is just... I don't know, man. Alright, Elfroot. Elfroot was first used by the elves of Arlathan, hence the name. The root gave their medicines particular efficacy. I can't read this morning. The coffee has not hit the system. So when the Imperium conquered the elves, the Magisters adopted its use, and its popularity spread to all corners of the Empire. Elfroot is a hardy plant with large green leaves that grows wild in many places. It's so common that it tends to show up in most gardens and fields, almost like a weed. Unlike a weed, however, most people appreciate having access to the wonderful little plant. The roots can be used with very little preparation. Rubbing some of the juice on a wound, for example, will speed up the healing and numb the pain. And chewing on a slice of root treats minor ailments like indigestion, flatulence, and hoarse throats. There are several varieties, but the most useful for herbalists are bitter, gossamer, and the royal elf roots. An excerpt from the Botanical Compendium by Inez Arancia. We struggled with this last time. Botanist. Words are hard, especially when they're made up. Oh, time to get yelled at for being a shem. Hello, squirrel. It's the Brody bot. Hi, Arcalian.
Old Shemlin, your
Old
kind are
Shemlin.
not welcome among the Dalish.
Oi.
Who are you people?
We are the last of the
You
Elven.
people. That's a little...
So you say, frequently.
We remember who the people truly are, even as you city elves forget.
rude.
What's a Shemlin?
It is the elven word for human.
It means you're not one of the people, and you should leave now.
I was given an amulet for someone named Marathari.
How do you know that name?
Wait, this is the one the Keeper spoke of.
A Shemlin? I thought he'd be an elf.
Enter the camp. Keeper Marathari has been waiting for you.
Cause trouble, and you'll meet our blades, stranger.
The accent they chose to use for the male is interesting because it's like a cross between Irish and Scottish.
I was told to bring you this amulet.
Andarana Tishan, travelers. Indeed, I am Keeper Marathari. Let me look at you.
She's like an old grandma.
There is a light in your heart, human. Don't let it go out. You will need it. Tell me how this burden fell to you, child.
Your guards said you spoke of me. How did you know I was coming?
I listened. To the wind, to the birds, as the hunters do, to my dreams. I watched
She's
the
dressed similar to
stars.
Anders.
There is great wisdom to be found all around us, if you know how to listen for it. But I was not certain. Nothing is certain.
Yeah, she has the similar feathers on her and like round rings and stuff on her armor that Anders has. That's funny.
Are you the leader of these Dalish? Why did the witch tell me to bring this amulet to you?
I am the keeper of this clan. It is my task to guide my people and to ensure the old ways are not forgotten.
Okay.
As for Asha Bellinar, I am tied to her, just as you are, by a debt that must be repaid.
I don't remember what Marathari did to end up in debt to Mathal. Well, Flemeth, but Mathal. I assume they're going to explain it, but I cannot for the life of me remember why she's indebted to her.
Exactly what have I been carrying around? Is it magic?
It is a promise, child, made by one whose word still has weight. And therefore, it has terrible power.
Ooh.
There are few things in this world stronger than a promise kept. Remember that.
Okay.
A dragon fell from the sky, charred some darkspawn, then asked me to bring you this amulet. No big deal.
No big deal.
You are blessed by luck, then. I will pray that Mithal watches over your path.
Thank you.
The amulet must be taken to an altar at the top of the mountain and given a Dalish rite for the departed. Then, return the amulet to me. Do this and your debt will be repaid.
How am I supposed to know how to
Are
do
you
it?
going to teach me this right for
Yeah,
the departed?
exactly.
I will send my first with you. She will see to it the ritual is done. And when it is complete, I must ask that you take her with you when you go.
Who is your first? First of what?
Your people would call her my apprentice, or heir. Meryl would have taken my place as keeper. But she has chosen a new path. Please, guide her safely from here.
I can just say weird. I love leaning into Purple Hawk.
That seems a little odd.
It is her wish, and I must grant it. You will find Meryl waiting for you on the trail just up the mountain. Dareth Shirat.
This mountain is cursed, I swear. 3 days in a row, I've shot at and fed steer.
All right.
Not the mountain. Maybe it's just you that's cursed by love.
Maybe it's just you that's cursed. That's me. Alright. Let's read up a little bit and then we'll head to grab Meryl. Valisleen, Blood Writing. After my encounter with the Dalish elves on the road to Navarra, I studied every book on elves I could find. I sought out legends and myths and history and tried to make sense of it all, but there is only so much one can learn from books. I knew that in order to truly understand the Dalish, I would have to seek them out. A dreadful idea, in hindsight. In my defense, I was young, and also inebriated when the idea popped into my head. Unfortunately, even after I had regained some measure of sobriety, the idea still held appeal. It proved remarkably resistant to my attempts to ignore it. I gave in after months of that nagging thought at the back of my head and set out to learn about the Dalish firsthand. I tramped through the forests bordering Orlais for weeks before I finally found, or was found by, a Dalish hunter. I stumbled into one of his traps and suddenly was hanging from a tree with a rope around my ankles. I don't think I have ever come across this reading before, because this is fucking hilarious. So there I was, defenseless, upside down with my robe over my head, my underclothes on display. Descriptions of my predicament might elicit laughter these days, but trust me when I say it was a situation I would not wish on anyone. Thankfully, my ridiculous appearance may have caused my captor to stay his hand. What threat is a silly human with his pants showing? And so he sat, made a small fire, and began to skin the deer he had caught. I soon mustered the courage to speak. I tried to assure him that I was not there to harm him, but he laughed at this and replied that if I were there to harm him, I had failed terribly. Eventually, we got to talking, and when I say talking, I mean I asked him questions and occasionally he would deign to answer. He told me that while some Dalish actively seek out human travelers to rob or frighten, most of his people would rather be left alone. He seemed to believe that punishing the humans for past actions only led to more violence. I asked him about the intricate tattoos on his face. He told me they were called Valisleen, blood writing. His were symbols of Andrul the Huntress, one of the most highly revered elven goddesses. He said that the Dalish marked themselves to stand out from humans, and from those of their kin who have chosen to live under human rule. He said the Valisleen reminds his people that they must never again surrender their beliefs. When he finished skinning the deer, he cut me down. By the time I had righted myself and conquered the dizziness of all blood rushing out of my head, he was gone. I do not recommend that my readers seek out the Dalish for themselves. I was very lucky to have met the man that I did, and to have walked away from our meeting unscathed. Perhaps the Maker watches over those who seek knowledge with an open heart. I certainly would like to think so. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar by Brother Genitivi.
This mountain is cursed by
Someone
swag.
named Grandma Piggy left a link. I'm assuming that's a bot. If you're not, sorry, and thank you for the view, but...
Maybe it's just you that's cursed, my love.
My love. Aw, cute. Alright. Do you lot have anything to say? Can I talk to you? No. Can I talk to you? Yes.
Watch your steps, Jan. You don't know how many Dalish arrows are trained on you right now.
None of you want to talk to me, that's fine. The geography of Thedas. Thedas is bounded to the east by the Amaranthine Ocean, to the west by Tirshon Forest and the Hunterhorn Mountains, to the south by the snowy wastes that lie beyond the Orkney Mountains. I think it's interesting they used an Irish word there. And to the north by Donark Forest. The word Thedas is Tevinter in origin, originally used to refer to lands that bordered the Imperium. As the Imperium lost its stranglehold on conquered nations, more and more lands became Thedas, until finally people applied the name to the entire continent. The northern part of Thedas is divided amongst the Anderfels, the Tevinter Imperium, Antiva, and Ravain, with the islands held by the Kunari just off the coast. Central Thedas consists of the Free Marches, Navarra, and Orlais, with Ferelden to the south. What lies beyond the snowy wastes is a mystery. The freezing temperatures and barren land have kept even the most intrepid cartographers at bay. Oh, sorry. Similarly, the western reaches of the Anderfels have never been fully explored, even by the Anders themselves. We do not know if the dry steppes are shadowed by mountains, or if they extend all the way to a nameless sea. There must be other lands, continents, or islands, perhaps across the Amaranthine, or north of Parvalin, for the Qunari arrived in Thedas from somewhere, but beyond that deduction, we know nothing. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar, by Brother Genitibi. Do you have anything to say? No. Do you have anything to say?
Anethera, human. If the Keeper wants you here, then be welcome.
Okay, I'll take it. Alright, I think this is the last thing we have to read for now. The Tale of Ilorin. Arcalian says Thedas equals the Dragon Age setting. See how they mashed the words together. The Dragon Age Oh, interesting. I never caught that. Is this an H? No, Ilorin. Ilorin. I can see it. In the days after the rising of Zazikel, the Dark Ones covered every corner of the land. The Archdemon drove all the nations of the world before him, Shemlin and Elven alike. Sorry. In the far north, where the hills wander the plains and the earth is eternally baked beneath the uncaring sun, the lands where the Shemlin call Anderfels, a clan of our people lived, struggling to survive the blight. Ilorin was their keeper, a hunter in his younger days, crafty as any wolf. He led his people always just ahead of the Darkspawn who chased them. But the old hunter knew that even Hala cannot run forever. They must turn and fight or be run down. At the foot of the Meridain? One day I'll read these properly. The Darkspawn cornered Ilorin's clan. That night, the moon was strangled by clouds, the earth concealed by a dread mist that rose out of nowhere, so that the Elven could not tell up from down. In the confusion, the Darkspawn attacked. But Ilorin had prepared for them. All around the camp, the hunters had strewn dry grass, brush, and brambles. When the sound of rustling footfalls began, Ilorin and the other Haren, English is so hard today, called upon the old magic. They struck out with lightning, and though the bolts missed the Darkspawn, they hit their target all the same. The sea of kindling lit, and not one of the dark creatures made it through the fire to reach Ilorin's clan. From the Tale of Ilorin, written by Zathrian, as it has been passed down from keeper to keeper for generations. Oh my god. I read for a living, y'all. Dungeon Lords, hello, welcome. Looking forward to the new Dragon Age? I've heard some streamers saying, dude, I'm freaking stoked. I discovered Dragon Age all the way back in like 2011 when a friend of mine actually read the prompts of the game to me because I had just had eye surgery and I couldn't read. And I am so excited. I've heard some streamers saying it doesn't look dark enough and may only be action instead of turn-based or hybrid. I would say look at the gameplay stuff that's come out already. They released 10 or 20 minutes of gameplay a couple weeks ago, and it looks so good. This game is back to being its dark, gritty stuff. The series, oh, I'm so excited. And, you know, the fact that we're going to get to revisit more about Elven lore and Solus being Fen Harel, and we're going to actually see 2 other Elven gods, possibly more, but there's 2 confirmed so far, which is Gillenon and Elgernon. I am chomping at the bit. My Discord that I run with a few of my friends, we have a whole section called the Clown Car, where we just say, like, whatever hopes and dreams we have for the game. Chomping at the bot, exactly. And we're getting to see Varric. I love Varric. I have a big crush on this fictional character, and I don't care, it's fine. Is my husband 6 feet tall and I'm in love with a fictional dwarf? Yes, but it's fine. I'm excited to see how they pull the comics into everything, like Maevaris and Dorian and Solus with hair. I'm very curious about Solus with hair. Nice, I just picked up some on the Steam sale. I haven't dug in yet, as I'm working on another game right now. Nice. What game are you working on? I am so excited. I can't even begin to tell y'all. I have been waiting for Dragon Age for 10 years.
What?
And now it's here. I'm going to be annoying as hell with all of the things that I'm excited about with these games. I want to see Cole again and see how... I don't want to spoil things for you Dungeon Lords. Cole is a character in Inquisition that is very interesting, and depending on the choices you make for him, it drastically can change how he acts. Oh, playing Dungeon Lords. Going way back, never played. I've never heard of the game, but I was not allowed to play video games as a kid, so that doesn't surprise me too much. I bet if I asked my husband, he would be like, oh yeah, that game's sick. Alright, Varric, you're squishy, so we're gonna up your strength and constitution a little, and give you a little more cunning for your crit damage. And we are now friends already. Authorized biographer. One of these days, Varric will tell your story. Awesome. Cool. Alright, Fenris. You're getting pretty strong. Let's try and give you a little more crit chance. And we're already able to start working on this. Sweet. I always make the wrong choices in games. Definitely got sucked into the book on Mist. Oh shit. For a long time, I would Google like what to do in certain parts of games, which I realize is bad, but I can't help myself. So now I really, really try to just like take a second. Like I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3 for the first time. I've been taking it super slowly. I'm just kind of doing it for myself whenever I have free time and like the mental space to really take in a game on that level. Because I've played D&D for years with my friends that I used to work with at Whole Foods, and I get so sucked into like the lore that my friends have built. So I'm loving Baldur's Gate. And I played it when it was in alpha. One of my friends bought it for me so we could play test it together. But actually delving into it now that I'm in Act 2 with like all the different characters and like Karlach, she's so cute and yet so deadly. I'm so curious about Shadowheart's mystery. Like I know next to nothing about her still. If Lae'zel keeps hitting on me, I'm just gonna kill her because I don't understand people who are like, oh, Lae'zel's sexy. She's fucking weird. And she'd be good for a Dark Urge playthrough, but that's about it. And Gale's devotion to his goddess is really intriguing. And also, like, I don't know if I could just, like, openly be like, oh yeah, I'll just kill myself because you told me to save people. I don't think I could do that. So he's a boss in my opinion, but I love all the characters. The only one I find boring so far is Will. And it's not his fault. I just don't think there's a lot of information about him just yet. Like, apart from the fact that he's a tiefling? My brain. I'm running on like 5 hours of sleep, y'all. Is it tiefling? No, it's whatever the fuck Karlach is. Same thing. He was turned into one of those. Just pretend that I'm a human being that has a functional brain right now. Let's focus on getting Anders up. Let's give you a little more buff and a little bit of crit chance. And we can start working on him too. So we can do Vengeance, or we're gonna lean into the healing. I'd really rather not lean into his Vengeance Justice aura. Okay. It looks like this is the last codex entry in this area. Arlathan, Part 1. Before the ages were named or numbered, our people were glorious and eternal and never changing. Like the great oak tree, they were constant in their traditions, strong in their roots, and ever reaching for the sky. They were also slaves. They felt no need to rush when life was endless. They worshipped their gods for months at a time. Decisions came after decades of debate, and an introduction could last for years. From time to time, our ancestors would drift into centuries-long slumber, but this was not death, for we know they wandered the fade in dreams. In those ages, our people called all the lands Elvenan, which in the old language means place of our people. And at the center of the world stood the great city of Arlathan, a place of knowledge and debate, where the best of the ancient elves would go to trade knowledge, greet old friends, and settle disputes that had gone on for millennia. But when our ancestors were caught up in the forever cycle of ages, drifting through life at what we today would consider an intolerable pace, the world outside the lush forests and ancient trees was changing. The humans first arrived from Parvalan to the north. Called Shemlin, or Quicklings, by the ancients, the humans were pitiful creatures whose lives blinked by in an instant. When they first met the elves, the humans were brash and warlike, quick to anger and quicker to fight, with no patience for the unhurried pace of elven diplomacy. But the humans brought worse things than war with them. Our ancestors proved susceptible to human diseases, and for the first time in history, elves died of natural causes. What's more, those elves who spent time bartering and negotiating with the humans found themselves aging, tainted by the humans' brash and impatient lives. Many believed that the ancient gods had judged them unworthy of their long lives and cast them down among the quicklings. Our ancestors came to look upon the humans as parasites, which I understand is similar to the way the humans see our people in the cities. The ancient elves immediately moved to close Elvenon off from the humans, for fear that this quickening effect would crumble the civilization. The fall of Arlathan, as told by Gisheril, keeper of the Ralliferan clan of the Dalish Elves. I could probably pronounce that better if I tried harder. This is not the way we're supposed to go.
In my experience, all Dalish women are crazy.
Interesting, thank you for that. Okay, this isn't where we're supposed to go, but I just want to explore over here really quickly and see if there's any loot.
I've always wondered, why is every surface dwarf a merchant or a smith?
You left out criminals and hired muscle.
They don't count.
We dwarves are drawn to shiny objects. Sort of like magpies, but with business sense.
Tell him, Varric.
You're kidding.
Of course I am. We come to the surface with the skills our ancestors had, Blondie. You think there's a tradition of dwarf woodcutters in Orzammar? Beekeepers? Sailors?
Well, there could be mushroom growers and nug wranglers.
Orzammar will never let those people go topside. Too vital. Also, embarrassing.
Fair. Ugh, I love Varric. Brian Bloom should do audiobooks so that we can just listen to the dulcet sounds of his voice. Brian Bloom is the voice actor that plays Varric, for the record, in case you guys didn't know. Okay, nothing over here. We will actually head towards Merrill now. God, the coffee is just not sinking in today. I am fucking wiped. This is what I get for becoming and having a streamer's sleep schedule, apparently. Which makes no sense. I sleep a normal amount. Straight up, I have been, until the past 2 weeks, going to bed at a normal time, but whatever. Hello, Metal. Metal. She's doing something. She's twitchy and buggy. She looks like a little creature.
Oh, I didn't hear. You must be the one the Keeper told me about. Anethera.
I'm
Are her
so sorry.
boobs bigger, or is that just
I didn't
me?
ask your name. Unless... It's not rude to ask a human their name, is it? I'm Meryl, which you probably knew already. I'm rambling, sorry.
We didn't get a proper introduction.
I am... or was, I suppose. The first to keep a Marathari. I've studied the old ways for as long as I can remember. I know things. The law of the Dalish that can help us get to the summit of Sandamort.
You seem awfully nervous.
I've never met a human before. Dalish mothers frighten their children with stories about you, you know.
Can't blame them.
Not you, personally, of course. I'm sure they don't have any tales about you. Or not scary ones, at least. Not that you're not notable enough to have a story. I'll just shut up now.
I forgot how cute she is. I'll just shut up now.
Why are you leaving the Danish at Kirkwall?
I have to. Let's leave it at that for now, alright?
Alright, I'll be respectful. I'll just shut up now. Oh, that line kills me.
You'll have to work harder than that to offend me. My name's Hawk.
Thank you. I'm afraid I'm not very experienced with your kind.
Then me
The
turning up
Keeper
with a
said you came
dwarf
from
must be
Ferelden.
shocking.
I spent most of my life there. We only came north a few years ago. Have you been in the Free Marches long? Do you like it here?
Could be worse.
I miss the cold and the dirt. Kirkwall's
Kirkwall's
not
brown
brown
enough
enough
for me.
But hey, no darkspawn.
Ferelden wasn't that brown. The dirt and muck gave it character. We should go. Your task is for Asha Bellinar. It's not wise to make her wait.
What do we have to do with the amulet?
It's
Yes,
a funeral
quite.
of sorts. I'll perform it when we get to the mountaintop.
Oh my god, excuse me.
Getting there is the tricky part. Our hunters haven't been able to reach the summit. Dark things are about.
Front row.
I take it you've been expecting me to bring this amulet for some time.
The Keeper brought us here to wait for you. I don't know much more than that. I do know that you have Asher Belenar's amulet. And we must bring it to the altar on the mountaintop. Nothing more.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, also, I didn't show you guys my mug of the day. I have a collection, for new viewers, of Starbucks mugs from everywhere I've traveled. I buy one pretty much every time I go somewhere new. So this is... I was trying to get the one for Disneyland. By the time we left the parks, because I was there with a few of my online friends. We met for the first time there in 2021. And when we were finally leaving the park, I was like, oh, let me run into Starbucks and get the mug. And they were like, oh, yeah, no, you can't go in anymore. Like, we're closed. So instead of getting the Disneyland one, I got the California Adventure. But it's got, like, Guardians of the Galaxy. There's a lot of Pixar stuff on here. Like, there's a door from Monsters, Inc. There's Jack from Incredibles. And it makes me happy. It's not the one I wanted, but this is the one I got. So I always remember my time fondly. I met up with Elisa, Doggy Snores, who made my art for my channel. And she's the person I run my sticker shop with. She does most of the art for the sticker shop. I handle all the production and the customer service, the shipping, all that stuff. And then we met up with our friend Goya and our other friend Molly, who both live in LA. So we had a great time. I would do it again if I could. I miss traveling.
Do you know the witch who sent me here?
No, not personally. My people tell stories of her, though. You're very lucky. Most people who meet Asher Belenar wind up in little pieces, hanging from the trees.
Yummy.
Let's get this over with.
Alright, in we go. We are locked into this now. Do you have anything else to say?
I hope we're going the right way. I get turned around a lot up here.
We're supposed to be following you.
Something about this whole creepy ancient magic thing makes me nervous.
You tell him.
It's nice to get some fresh air. Kirkwall starts to stink after a bit.
We should move on.
You're boring, Fenris. Huh. I wasn't expecting them all to just pop out like that. Pretend I didn't just scream like a little girl. What does this do again? Oh, this is defenses. I'm still getting used to. Uh-oh. Ugh, there's so many of them. I do hate the hordes of enemies in this game. That's like the one thing I hate.
The Keeper didn't mention you were a mage.
Doesn't matter.
I imagine it's difficult to give away something nobody wants.
Oh my god.
All keepers know a bit of old magic. The stories tell us that all Elven once had the gift. But like so many things,
Fenris is such an
it
ass.
was lost. It's a keeper's job to remember, to restore what we can.
Can't demons possess Dalish mages?
It can happen. And when it does, the clan must hunt and kill their own keeper.
Does the Chantry know about the Dalish mages?
Oh, they know. Keeper Marathari told me that was one of the reasons we never camped too long in one place. They usually won't pursue us if we stay away from the cities and towns and keep moving.
You don't know how good you've got it.
But my clan is now in more danger, having lost our Hala.
If you go to Kirkwall, you'll be an apostate in a city full of Templars.
I know. But if I don't go to Kirkwall, I'll be alone. A solitary elf is easy prey for anyone. In the city, I can get lost in the crowd.
Please, keep turning skeletons into toads for us.
But I never... Right. Not literally. Happy to help. I've done a little fighting before, but it was always alone. I'll try not to hit anyone. On our side, I mean. I'm babbling again. Let's go.
I love her so much. Just her whole, like, she's so embarrassed and she's, like, well aware of the fact that she rambles and stuff, and she's like, I'll just shut up now. It's just so endearing. Honestly, that's probably how I would be. Alright, another jump scare. Yep. Anytime now. I could just, like, kill them all. I have the Litany of Andrala mod to kill them. And if it continues, I will. Hey, leave Meryl alone. We like our sassy little maid. Anyone leave anything behind? No. No body parts. We shall continue. Also, appreciation really quick for the mod I've got going on here. This game, despite it coming out, what, 14 years ago? 13? Has never looked better.
So the Keeper finally found someone to take you from here.
What a prick.
Yes.
Then finish your task quickly, human. We cannot be rid of this one too
So
soon.
rude.
I'm sensing a story here.
I have made my choice. And I will save our clan whatever you think.
Poor Meryl. Poor Meryl. Oh, there's my mod. I clicked off the screen for 2 seconds. Wait for it. There we go. So, nice mountain you've got.
Sundermount seems very mountainous today, doesn't it? Lots of rock and hillside.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Let's go.
Awkward.
We should hurry.
Poor sweet Meryl. She doesn't deserve what her clan does to her. More elf fruit.
A landslide blocked the path. There's a cave that should take us to the other side.
Alright. Taking the long way round. It's just an excuse to murder more, it's fine. So for those of you guys who have played Dragon Age 2 before, how do you typically play? Do you guys do Angry Hawk? Do you do Diplomatic Hawk? Do you do Purple Hawk Sassy like I do? I'm curious.
I'm sorry. You're not really seeing the Dalish at their best. We're good people that look out for each other. Just not today, apparently.
I'm gonna be nice in this moment.
Is there anything I can do to help?
It's kind of you to ask. I'm fine. Even if my people don't appreciate my efforts, I must see this through. Let's go. Asha Belenar isn't known for her patience.
I also feel like Meryl's quest, like this one we're doing now where you get her, takes a lot longer than everyone else's. Am I crazy? Like, I feel like it takes longer because you have to go through the mountain, go through the cave, get to the other side, do the right, then talk to her, Mythal. I keep saying Mythal. Keep talking to Flemeth. I just feel like it takes a lot longer than everyone else's. Could be wrong. Do you guys have any thoughts on this area?
Right behind you, Hawk.
Damn straight you are.
You have been a good friend. Better than I deserve.
We should move on.
The mountain is home to a lot of terrible things. Remnants of a war long ago.
I see 7 of you guys in the chat, but nothing's popping up. Maybe we're all just quiet today. That's okay, I can entertain myself. I've done a pretty decent job thus far. That's the truth. You are my worst nightmare, Anders, though not for the reasons you might hope. Make sure everyone's alive still. everything? Looks like it.
The mountain is home to a lot of terrible things. Remnants of a war.
I didn't mean to get you to talk again, sorry.
Be on your guard.
Ooh, stuff. Oh, I can hear Dave talking to my cat. Irish was quite sick in the night and woke us both up at about 5:30 in the morning vomiting, so I hope she's doing better now. She's my little baby cat. Ooh, silverite, a new thing. The lustrous white-blue silverite has long been prized by the dwarves for its use in jewelry, rune-making, and weaponsmithing, but on the surface, it is more commonly used by apothecaries and healers. Since the metal does not rust, many traditions believe it to be proof against poison. There is a tale passed down among the people of the Anderfells. A knight returned home after many years of war, only to be struck by an adder. His wife immediately bound the wound with a medallion of silverite, pressed against the bite like a poultice. By morning, the poison had left him, and the knight lived to an old age. An excerpt from an alchemical primer of metallurgy, Volume 1, by Lord Cerastus of Marnaz-Pel. I hope I said that right. Yep. Murder. Mayhem. Kill the spiders. Hey, leave my dwarf alone. I like how Anders keeps saying I'm your worst nightmare. You are my worst nightmare, Anders. Don't fucking worry.
You fall! Go down!
Making the world a better place, one enemy at a time. You tell 'em, Hawk. I will happily loot all the bodies. Look, crates. It's lovely. And a new quest, the Seal of House Talwain. I'll happily take your shit. I was talking about this in my last stream, but one of the chief complaints that people hear about Dragon Age 2 back in the day and even today is that they say, oh, you know, like the enemies repeat themselves and all of the areas look identical, like nothing is different, everything is you know, it repeats so much. And, you know, logically you can say, oh, that's because of, you know, the fact that the devs had a really short period of time to get the game out. You know, there's a lot of different reasons, but I like to headcanon that it's because Varric is just telling the story, and he's just too lazy to keep describing shit to Cassandra. So he's just like, just picture the same place again. It's basically the same. It's another cave. Because he's in it for the actual story, not just, you know, describing everything perfectly. That's my headcanon anyway. Okay, how do we get out of here? Ah, right here. Walked right past it. Love that for me. I'm starting to regret chugging my coffee, as delicious as it was. Now I have to pee.
I haven't met that many Dalish, and already I'm not crazy about them.
This place is known, even into winter.
It's nice to get some fresh air. Kirkwall starts to stink after a bit.
Lovely.
I hope we're going the right way. I get turned around a lot up here.
Yes, the pile of bones. I think I am going to take a hot second to just use the restroom because I chugged my coffee. So I will be back momentarily. Be good. Chat, please. I beg of you. Okay. Much better. Back to the game. Let's meet Ashbelinar, aka Flemeth.
I can open the way forward.
Isn't this the part where Meryl like slits her wrists and does her blood magic thing? Yep. Fenris is about to be pissed.
Blood magic? Foolish. Very foolish.
Yes, it was blood magic, but I know what I'm doing. The spirit helped us, didn't it?
Sure, demons are very helpful. Right up until they take your mind and turn you into a monster.
Well, yes. But that won't happen. I know how to
She can't even
myself.
deny it.
Be careful up ahead. Restless things prowl the heights.
Yeah. We'll be fine.
In the days of Arlathon, the elders came here to sleep. Uthanara. The endless dream, they called it. But they don't sleep peacefully anymore.
I think it's interesting that they call the endless sleep Uthanara when we call, like, helping someone die euthanasia. I just find it intriguing. Ooh, deep mushroom. Deep mushroom refers to the entire group of fungi that grows underground in caves and many parts of the dwarven deep roads. Collection can be a dangerous task, as the deep roads are often infested with darkspawn. Because of this, dwarven merchants often recruit casteless hirelings for the job, and pay them a meager percentage of what they earn selling the mushrooms to surfacers. The most common varieties used in the herbalist's trade are the blightcap, ghoul's mushroom, and brimstone mushroom, almost all of which tend to carry the darkspawn's corruption. While they cannot transmit the disease, the trait often makes them quite poisonous. Deep mushrooms should only be handled by experienced herbalists and should never be consumed without first being adequately cleaned and prepared. Careless consumption has been known to cause insanity, severe abdominal cramping, and even death. Sexy. Alright, we're gonna get up here and then they're gonna revive. Yep. Arcane horror. Dog.
Let's finish this! Get back!
Okay, that was easy enough. Murder, mayhem. Keep away from my dwarf. Murder. These shadow warriors are interesting. I don't remember them. Die. That should be the last of them.
I think it's safe now. Place the amulet on the altar, and I'll begin the rite.
Why can't you do it? Why do I have to do it? Alright, let's meet Flemeth again. A year later.
Aharin amalana salen. Emma ira au bella zaviranan. Isalahamin vinanhim dofilas. In usanera narivas.
Oh shit. There she is.
And here we are.
A witch.
It's all right, Fenris. She means us no harm. Under Anatishan Ashabalana.
One of the people. I see. So young and bright. Do you know who I am? Beyond that title.
I know only a little.
Then stand. The people bend their knee too quickly. So refreshing to see someone who keeps their end of a bargain. I half expected my amulet to end up in a merchant's pocket.
Made a deal.
I agreed to deliver the amulet, though you could have told me you were inside it.
Just a piece. A small piece. But it was all I needed. A bit of security, should the inevitable occur. And if I know my Morrigan, it already has.
So, okay, just to throw this out here, because I'm thinking about this as I'm playing. Does this mean, theoretically, if Morrigan doesn't kill her mother in DAO, or you don't kill her mother, I should say, that there are two Flemeths in the world right now? Because that seems a little dangerous.
You are no simple witch.
Figure that out yourself, did you?
I have seen powerful mages, spirits, and abominations, but you are none of those things. What are you?
Such a curious land. The chains are broken, but are you truly free?
You see a great deal.
Ooh.
I am a fly in the ointment. I am a whisper in the shadows. I am also an old woman. More than that, you need not know.
Alright.
Is that someone I should know?
She's a girl who thinks she knows what is what better than I or anyone. And why not? I raised her to be as she is. I cannot expect her to be less.
I'm not sure whether she's your daughter or your enemy.
Neither is she.
Oh, interesting. I gotta check one thing really quick with the stream. Just want to make sure. You guys might hear my audio. I just want to make sure that my audio is working for y'all. It looks like it is. Okay. I know that sometimes it'll act weird where you can only hear it out of one ear. I don't know how to fix it. Anyways.
Why did you need me to bring you here?
Because I had an appointment to keep. And because I did not want to be followed, you smuggled me here quite nicely.
I don't understand. Are you some kind of vision?
Must I be in only one place? Bodies are such limiting things.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I am but a fragment cast adrift from the whole. A bit of flotsam to cling to in the storm.
Huh?
Fragment?
You do not need to understand, child. Know only that you may have saved my life, just as I once saved yours. And even trade, I think.
Fair enough. A life for a life.
You have plans, I take it?
Destiny awaits us both, dear boy. We have much to do. Before I go, a word of advice.
Oh.
We stand upon the precipice of change. The world fears the inevitable plummet into the abyss. Watch for that moment, and when it comes, do not hesitate to leap.
God, I love that quote.
It is only when you fall that you learn whether you can fly.
What should I do?
Do as I do. Become a dragon. You could never be a dragon.
Rude.
As for you, child, step carefully. No path is darker than when your eyes are shut.
Maceranus Ashabellinar.
Now the time has come for me to leave. You have my thanks and my sympathy.
Sympathy? I don't need your sympathy, Flemeth. Look at her becoming a dragon. Meryl running towards her like, oh my god! Like a fangirl.
It's nice to get some fresh air. Kirkwall starts to stink after a bit.
Okay. Oh. I guess we can go this way now. I don't know if I was supposed to. F. Come on. Alright, Revenant is dead. Leave my dog alone. Everyone else seems to be okay health-wise.
Making the world a better place.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. I'm just gonna litany end all of this.
One more for me. We're keeping score, right?
I don't feel like actively killing them all sometimes, you know? It's a lot of hordes. It's a lot of hordes. And I understand the devs were under a crunch, but like, goddamn.
What? Just wondering if the feathered pauldrons are an essential part of the moody rebel mage persona.
What are you talking about?
I'm working on an epic poem about a hopelessly romantic apostate, waging an epic struggle against forces he can't possibly defeat.
What do you mean, can't possibly defeat?
Well, it's not a good story unless the hero dies.
Jesus, Varric. You can't just say that to people. We're like going way off the beaten trail here, but I just want to get all the loot, you know? I don't think that's too much to ask for. A little loot. Tell me about you guys. How's your week going? How's your Monday? I hope it's not too Monday-y. There was a quick save. I saw that. Another fight. Just a codex entry. Sundermount. Kirkwall is guarded by mountains to it north. Clearly someone did not spell check this and like read over these. To the north, the tallest of which is Sundermount. The mountain has a fearsome reputation. Legend says it was the site of the final battle between the Tevinter Imperium of old and the ancient empire of elves that perished with Arlathan. Both sides unleashed horrors into the waking world, and feyed creatures prowl the heights to this very day, unaware that the war for which they were summoned is long since over. There is a tale in the Free Marches that Blessed Andraste, upon reaching Kirkwall with her armies, sojourned up the slopes of Sundermount alone. She stayed there for 3 days. When she returned, she wept as if her heart were broken. I stayed 2 months in Kirkwall, and despite my best efforts, I never found a guide willing to take me up the mountain. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar by Brother Genitivi. Alright, presumably we will have to come back here, as there is a magical barrier. But we will head back down now. And actually go where we're supposed to. But I like to double check, make sure. You gotta check for all the loot, you know? How are you gonna know that you found everything if you don't go down every nook and cranny? Am I right? I need all the loot. I am a loot goblin. And I'm okay with that. You should see how often I bother my DM when we play D&D. I'm like, is there stuff here? And he'll just be like, you've checked everything. Stop asking. But I need to know. I need all the shit. All the stuff. Do you think it'll make me walk through here again, or will it just, like, auto-plot me? Yeah, there we go. Return to camp. I always forget.
Masarana's child, your debt is paid in full.
Rock and roll, thanks.
It isn't too late to change your mind, Dalen.
Dareth Shiral, Keeper. I'm ready. Let's depart.
All the elves are coming over to watch her. Poor Meryl. I feel bad for her. Extermination of the Nugs became known as the Battle of the Squealing Plains. It is not spoken about in polite company. Poor Nugs. Poor Nugs. They're very cute. They're huge. Alarmingly large.
Elganon. Is this really where the elves live?
Yes, this is it.
Not the prettiest part of Kirkwall, but it doesn't have a view of the giant chains. But take what you can get.
I didn't think it would be so... I've never seen so many people in one place before. It seems so lonely.
Working your way up will be fun. Alright, that was a lie. It won't be fun.
Some adventurer I am. Barely set out and I'm already daunted. Thank you for everything. For all your help. Will you come visit me? Not now, of course. But maybe later. I could use a friend.
Of course.
Of course. But only because you used that you kicked my puppy voice.
Thank you. Oh, I'm thanking you too much, aren't I? I mean it, though.
She's so cute. Okay, so now we can have Meryl in the party. I'm going to have... For the memes. And because I know I can kill everything in sight if I need to. I want to hear Isabella and Meryl's banter, because it's adorable. Fenris rivalry +5. Whatever, Fenris. Let's level up our peeps. Isabella. You need more cunning and a little more health because you're wimpy. We can start working on her stuff. Oh, I have way more ability points. I've not put her in the party yet. Oh no, that's Meryl. We'll work on her blood mage stuff, I guess. And I feel like she would use Entropy and Primal. So we'll use Horror. And Rock Armor seems like a good one. And then I can give her a better staff. Won't let me. Oh. Wonder why it won't let me. And I can give her some other stuff. Some rings. It's probably fine. Okay.
My cousin said he might have a job for you. Thought you should know.
Did he? I'll have to speak with him soon. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I like Clowtown. It's an honest sort of place. People will rob you blind, but they're honest about it.
Fair.
I keep getting lost here. The last time I went to the market by myself, it took me 4 hours to find my way home.
Oh, that's cute.
Despite the name, Lowtown's not so bad. Just more likely to be destroyed by tidal waves than Hightown.
Go in Meryl's house. Oh, my hands. I've been on my computer a lot typing, and I can feel it. Okay, Meryl's house is actually really flippin' cute. There's some codex entries in here that I could read. Oh good, the mirror's not here yet. I guess we'll read a couple of them really quick and then we'll talk to Meryl. The Maker's first children. The Maker's first creations were the spirits, glorious beings that populated the many spires of the Golden City, and the Chant of Light says that they revered the Maker with unquestioning devotion. The Maker, however, was dissatisfied. Although the spirits were like him in that they could manipulate the ether and create from it, they did not do so. They had no urge to create, and even when instructed to do so, possessed no imagination to give their creations ingenuity or life. The Maker realized his own folly. He had created the spirits to resemble him in all but the one and most important way. They did not have a spark of the divine within them. He expelled all the spirits out of the Golden City and into the Fade, and proceeded to his next creation, life. The Maker created the world and the living beings upon it, separated from the Fade by the veil. His new children would be unable to shape the world around them, and thus would need to struggle to survive. In return for their struggle, the Maker gave them the spark of the divine, a soul, and he watched with pleasure as his creations flourished and showed all the ingenuity that he had hoped for. The spirits grew jealous of the living, and coaxed them into the Fade when they slept. The spirits wished to know more of life, hoping to find a way to regain the Maker's favor. Through the eyes of the living, they experienced new concepts: love, fear, pain, and hope. The spirits reshaped the Fade to resemble the lives and concepts that they saw, each spirit desperately trying to bring the most dreamers to their own realm so they could vicariously possess a spark of the divine through them. As the spirits grew in power, however, some of them became contemptuous of the living. They were the spirits that saw the darkest parts of the dreamers. Their lands were places of torment and horror, and they knew what the living were strongly drawn to, places that mirrored those dark parts of themselves. These spirits questioned the Maker's wisdom and proclaimed the living inferior. They learned from the darkness that they saw and became the first demons. Rage, hunger, sloth, desire, pride, these are the dark parts of the soul that give demons their power, the hooks they use to claw their way into the world of the living. It was demons that whispered into the minds of men, convincing them to turn from the Maker and worship false gods. They seek to possess all life as their due, forging kingdoms of nightmare in the Fade, in the hopes of one day storming the walls of heaven itself. And the Maker despaired once again, for he had given the power of creation to his new children, and in return, they had created sin. From the Maker's First Children by Bader, Senior Enchanter of Ostwick, 812 Blessed. Savage. Alright, metal. Oh, that's her washroom. Sorry, I won't invade your private space. That's rude.
I didn't think you'd come. I'll find something relatively clean for you to sit on.
Her single
Can I get you
chair.
something to eat or drink? I have water.
I came here to see you, Meryl. You don't have to fuss over me.
You're so kind. My first guest, and I'm already a terrible host.
She's so cute. Oh, she does have a second chair. Okay, good.
I wanted to thank you for bringing me here, but I'm making a mess of it.
Oh. I've never romanced Meryl before. That could be fun. I was kind of tempted to do an Isabella romance this time. I think we'll just flirt with everyone. Well, nah, I'm not vibing with Meryl.
I'm not sure thanks applies to this. Not without a lot of irony, anyway.
It's not pretty, but this is where I need to be. I haven't exactly had many friends. Not even among my own clan. This is tricky.
You'll be fine.
What made you unpopular with the Dalish?
Being first to the Keeper, I was always a bit secluded. I studied magic and history while the others were learning the Via Tanadal. It's good that I left. I'd have made a terrible keeper. I was never that good with people.
It won't take long before you're the most popular girl in the alienage.
Mythol, I hope not. I'd managed to say something stupid in front of everyone and embarrass myself. Thank you for coming to visit me, Hawk. It means a lot to me.
Happy to do so. I guess we'll read the codex entries in here. They're short. Mana and the use of magic. Mana is that which defines a mage. It is potential that dwells within a person but does not always manifest itself. All men are connected to the Fade. We go there to dream, but only those with this potential may draw upon its power. Mana is, then, a measurement of one's ability to draw power from the Fade, and it is this power that is expanded in magic. Expended, I can read. As in all other things, it has limits. Just as a man has the strength to lift only so much weight and no more, a mage cannot work more magic at one time than his mana allows. If he wishes to work magic that would be beyond his strength, a mage must bolster his mana with lyrium. Without lyrium, it is possible for the reckless to expend their own life force in the working of magic, and occasionally ambitious apprentices injure or even kill themselves from overexertion. From the lectures of First Enchanter Wenceslas. And then lastly, Arlathan Part 2. You ask what happened to Arlathan. Sadly, we do not know. Even those of us who keep the ancient lore have no record of what truly happened. What we have are accounts of the days before the fall and a fable of the whims of the gods. The human world was changing even as the elves slept. Clans and tribes gave way to a powerful empire called Tevinter, which, and for what reasons we do not know, moved to conquer Elvenon. When they breached the great city of Arlathan, our people, fearful of disease and loss of immortality, chose to flee rather than fight. With magic, demons, and even dragons at their behest, the Tevinter Imperium marched easily through Arlathan, destroying homes and galleries and amphitheaters that had stood for ages. Our people were corralled as slaves, and human contact quickened their veins until every captured elf turned mortal. The elves called to their ancient gods, but there was no answer. As to why the gods didn't answer, our people left only a legend. They say that Fen'Harel, the dread wolf and lord of tricksters, approached the ancient gods of good and evil and proposed a truce. The gods of good would remove themselves to heaven, and the lords of evil would exile themselves to the abyss, neither group ever again to enter the other's lands. But the gods did not know that Fen'Harel had planned to betray them, and by the time they realized the dread wolf's treachery, they were sealed in their respective realms, never again to interact with the mortal world. It is a fable, to be sure, But those elves who travel the beyond claim that Fen'Harel still roams the world of dreams, keeping watch over the gods lest they escape from their prisons. Whatever the case, Arlathan had fallen to the very humans our people had once considered mere pests. It is said that Tevinter Magisters used their great destructive power to force the very ground to swallow Arlathan whole, destroying eons of collected knowledge, culture, and art, the whole of elven lore left only to memory. The fall of Arlathan, as told by Gisharel, keeper of the Ralafaran clan of the Dalish elves. Hey, Fright, how's it going? It's a really depressing story when you think about it. Okay, so we have Meryl's house, Gamlen's house. We could go to Darktown. We could go to Hightown. We could go to the Gallows. Could do Lowtown with Wayward Son, but I just don't feel like dealing with Fainrail yet. So we'll go to the Gallows. Oh my gosh. I'm so tired. One of these days I will sleep like a normal human being. Last night was not that day. I will probably end up taking a nap.
Do you really like sailing?
Like it? I love it. The salt spray on my face, the wind whipping by my ears, the gulls screaming overhead. I love it all.
Oh, don't you get sick? I was so sick on our trip across the sea.
Were you in the hold?
Everyone was in the hold.
There's your problem. You need to be up on deck, under the sky, with nothing between you and the horizon. Sailing is like sex. Do it wrong and it'll make you sick. But do it right, and there's no feeling in the world like it.
I don't agree with that statement, Isabella.
You're like an itch I can't scratch. Or something. I'm not good at metaphors.
Jesus.
Have I mentioned that I don't really like it here?
I think Bianca's gotten scratched.
Oh no. Okay, we have some shops. Oh.
Commander Meredith would kill us all if she could.
Oh. Sell all junk. Anything worthwhile here? Probs not. Armor of the wall. Shit. Oh yeah, I'm not strong enough. Roar. Yeah, if I want any of this, I'm basically gonna have to up my armor, or my strength. And I don't feel like doing that. Okay. Death of a Templar. Ugh, damn it. I should have known better. The dry, dusty earth swallows up salty drops that splatter its surface. A tiny insect pauses, sensing the vibrations, and scurries off, leaving behind its invisible enemy. As the drops fall, the dark circles merge together, expressing a mirror to their creator. The primal emotions of bloodlust and sorrow blend into a lethal cocktail that breaks the strongest of men. The jurisdiction of strength must be left to the spirit, not arm nor chest. Only the wisest turn to his inner sanctuary to partition the mind from an all-consuming madness. Seductive voices whispering, promise of glory weighting down the weaker path of the flesh, bringing a death far worse than that of hot lead or steel. These blank, hollow promises will echo the unfathomable eternally. Living comfortably amongst material possessions, it is easy to misunderstand the true meaning of uncontrollable hate. Failing to understand the power of fighting against pure, unfaltering beliefs, against foes that listen only to their soul, uncontrollable hate, influenced, and thus removed from innocence, the scar is permanent and internal. I'm trying to figure out what this is about. The rain, now red, feeds the debt owed for actions past, seeking further into the earth as the mind draws slower. What was it that drew himself to this situation? The mind ebbs and parts to a lingering memory of true innocence. He entered war as a newborn enters the world, unknowing of both the horrors and the light of the Maker that will save him. The sound of metal sliding across leather comes from above him. From the second he was born to his soon-to-be dying breath, his mind was processing and analyzing knowledge and experiences. It is true that he thought he could be wise in his own eyes, but only the most humble recognizes that he knows very little. Bias, speculation, and all of false pretenses make way to the sound of the sweeping steel, and then finally his soul, as ready as his eyes, dry from this final understanding, enters his promise in its purest form. From The Death of a Templar by Sir Andrew, Knight of Andraste and Templar Archivist. Interesting. Hello, my husband. Oh, thank you. I would love a tea. I'm spoiled here, guys. He brings me tea. He must like me. Hello. You seem very serious. Ooh. The Enigma of Kirkwall. Oh, it's another band of 3! Ancient Devinter lore is hard to come by, but there's history to be had here in Kirkwall, the city once home to the Imperium's slave trade. What answers does Kirkwall hold? Why look here instead of Peraventium or Val Dorma? The Imperium does not give up its secrets easily. Even with the Magister's centuries dead, our journey is perilous. Here on the docks of the gallows, we renew our vows. And should we fail, search for the markings of the Band of 3. A tattered leather found under a cobblestone. It has curious markings and is signed the Band of 3. I don't remember at all what that's supposed to be about, and I'm actually super stoked to be seeing that shit again. Thrask. Templar recruits. I'll talk to them in a minute.
Well, this is cheerful.
Yeah, well. Hey.
Check your purse. I think you lost something.
Shh. I can't accurately express my gratitude.
Yeah.
But thank you.
Welcome. Ooh, mage goods. Turncoat's walking stick. Nature damage. That could be good for Meryl, but I don't think she has 21 magic. Oh, she does. We'll purchase. Hang on, I need to mess with my inventory for a second. Wait, why can't I use this? Oh, I need more dexterity. Okay. I'll remember that for the next time I level up. Let me give this to Meryl. Why can't I give this to her? Oh, because I'm dragging it to the wrong spot like a dumbass. It's fine. Okay. This should be fine for now.
It held an enchantment just yesterday.
What do you want?
Ah, welcome, my dear friend, to Sol's shop. My name is Solicitus. Please take a look around. My apologies in advance. Our shelves are a bit bare at the moment. Actually, if you're interested, I could use a bit of help to remedy that.
Remedy that? Potions shop. You, my good man, are priceless.
The pun wasn't intentional, although I may use that next time.
Oh my god.
It's been too
His hair is ridiculous.
Late, and the substances I require for my creations are, of course, elsewhere. Perhaps you could find them. You'll be compensated for your time, have no fear. I'll also give you first pick of my new creations.
Alright.
Make up a list of what you need and I'll keep an eye out for you.
Perfect. A discount on everything in the shop, Sirrah.
Damn straight.
Ah, my young friend. How goes the search?
My young friend. Some potions. Ooh, recipe. I'll take that. Bless you.
Welcome back to Sol, my friend.
Bless you. His sneezes are so loud. It's like kind of scary. Okay. I guess we'll talk to these guys now. Hello, Templar recruit Hugh.
Do you know a recruit named Karen? His sister is looking for him.
We cannot speak to you, Messer.
To the void with that. Karen and the others are missing.
But our
These guys are
orders...
copy pasted. He just
The
has
Knights aren't doing
a
anything
mustache.
to find them. Maybe it's time to ask for outside help.
I wasn't even certain Karen was missing. Who else is gone?
The first ones disappeared weeks ago. There's been at least half a dozen. Wilmot and Karen were the most recent.
Why must you keep silent about Karen?
You obviously aren't a Templar, Messer.
A Knight Lieutenant gives you an order, and you obey, without question.
Jesus.
They told us not to breathe a word about Karen and the others.
They must have their reasons.
And that'll be a great comfort if you go missing next.
You're already defying orders to talk to me. Might as well share the good stuff.
Fair.
I hear that Knight Commander Meredith has some new initiation you have to go through. If you're not strong enough or fervent enough in belief, you don't make it out alive.
Shit.
And you honestly believe that?
Recruits keep going missing.
Their ears are funny
Wilmot
looking.
came back.
What?
He did. I saw him this morning.
What else do you know about the initiation?
You hear about some questionable things that
Their
the
ears
Order
are so
must do
funny
these
looking.
days. The Knight Commander only wants Templars that can do what must be done.
Andraste alive. She's killing recruits that might question her orders, isn't she?
Jesus.
That's rubbish. She wouldn't do that.
If Wilmot came back, he might know more about the other missing recruits.
I bet he would.
Wilmot told me he was going outside Kirkwall. Clear his head, he said.
Why didn't you tell us this?
Knight Captain Cullen ordered it, right before he chased after Wilmot.
Oh.
That wasn't too long ago. If you hurry, you may catch them on the road.
Okay.
I hope they find Karen soon. And Wilmot, of course.
There's so many blood mages in Kirkwall. They do unspeakable things.
They're so angy.
Please find Wilmot. Find out what they're doing to the recruits.
This initiation ritual. I haven't slept for days.
No one's forcing you to do the initiation ritual. Why haven't you slept? Let's check in with Thrask really quick. How you doing, good buddy?
Maker's blessing on you.
Oh, okay. Oh, and there is another little thingy back here. The Seekers of Truth. It's about Cassandra! Sir Whitmore, when I mentioned powers greater than the Templars, I didn't mean the Chantry. Sure, they command the Templars, but that was not always so. The Inquisition once hunted heretics and cultists as well as mages, and their reign of terror ended only with the inception of the Circle of Magi. They became the Templar Order, for good or ill, the Watchers of the Mages and the martial arm of the Chantry. I have to hope that when they were developing Inquisition, or I should say when they were developing Dragon Age 2, they already had Inquisition in the works, and so they like put these Easter eggs in on purpose, or they use these as like the foundation of the game. It was a mutually beneficial arrangement, but few know that the Chantry created yet another order to watch over the Templars, the Seekers of Truth. I know little of them myself, but I can say the following things with certainty. They serve the divine, and they are feared. When a Seeker steps from the shadows, Templars run for cover, because why would he come unless the Templars somehow failed in their duties? Seekers are extremely effective in investigating abuses within the Circle and hunting particularly evasive apostates. It's said they are immune to a blood mage's mind control and possess the ability to read minds or erase memories, but this is likely an exaggeration. So we return to my original dilemma. Who watches powers greater than that of the Templars? One assumes it's the divine, but how much could she know about their activities when their very existence is a mystery to most? A letter from an unknown priest found in the Grand Cathedral Archives, 880 Blessed. Intriguing.
I can't wait until I've had enough training to meet a real mage.
Alright. Let's head, I guess, to Hightown. I'm trying to get like all the little quests done, because I really don't want to deal with the Fanereal's quest yet, and I'm definitely not ready, or, I mean, I don't have the coin yet to start the Deep Roads expedition, so I'm going to try and completionist this game. I will not be attempting that for Inquisition, but for Dragon Age 2, it's a small enough game that we can handle it.
How do you do that? Do what, kitten?
You sort of swagger when you walk. I've been trying, but I trip over my own feet when I do it.
You just strut. It's not something you practice.
How do I learn it then?
It comes to you, usually at night.
It's like a lover.
Or maybe a burglar. Either it ravishes you, or runs off with all your jewelry, and you have to run it down and stab it in the heart. And that metaphor got a bit away from me, didn't it?
I think it did, but it was certainly exciting.
I love Meryl. It was certainly exciting. She's so cute. You. Oh, right, I'm supposed to go to the bone pit.
thought I remembered a hat shop around here.
Everything here is cold. Hard stone. I wish I'd worn shoes with soles now.
Jesus. Here.
I think you let this get away from you.
You found this? I don't know what to say.
Bridget, what do you have? This is the noble clothing stuff. I just wish I could peek at it before purchasing one. Okay, well, nothing we can do about it.
You won't find better prices.
Excuse me. Oh, we have a bounty to save the Viscount's son. The Unbidden Rescue. Offered on the authority of His Excellency, Viscount Marlowe Dumar. Citizens of able nature, Viscount Dumar requires your aid. His son, Seamus Dumar, has been lost to uncertain company, and a safe return is sought with all haste. Make your case of skill to Seneschal Bran at his station in His Excellency's Keep, and the reward for this act shall be generous in both sentiment and coin. Okay, I can do that. Is there anything else here? I could go to Fenris's mansion. I don't think we've gone in there yet. Let's go chat him up. See how he's doing.
I should move to Val Royal.
He's gotta be... Oh, I can donate. Sure.
I'm hungry.
I'm hungry. Let's see. Should be up here and around the corner. We'll give him a little hello.
Did you ever notice how cold the pavement is here? Andraste's grace be with you. No? Just me.
Shh. Let's check it out. Maybe Fen has something to say. Theoretically, anyways. Ah, yes, we can gather our party. Adventures of the Black Fox. I'm getting tired of reading these, to be honest. I don't know how entertaining this is. Born Lord Remy Vascal in 863 Blessed, the Black Fox was a dashing thief and rogue who went on to inspire so many tales of his exploits that it is nearly impossible to determine today which are true and which are merely fabricated legend. Despite coming from nobility, he has become something of a hero of the common people. His initial exploits involved ridiculing the tyrannical and powerful Lord of Valchevin. Wearing a mask, he would appear in public and disrupt the Lord's plans to the point that the Lord angrily put a huge bounty on the life of this cunning fox, the origin of the nickname which stuck. Ooh. Thank you, love. I got a tea delivery. I'm so special. This is probably better for me than the coffee, but that is wicked hot. Oh, well, wait a minute. That the primary bounty hunter who took the job, Carolus, ended up becoming Remy's lifelong partner in crime, only after nearly killing him several times, is one of the most popular tales told in taverns today. The story is often exaggerated to make Remy appear initially buffoonish, until Carolus becomes so furious at the Black Fox's inexplicable ability to survive that the cunning Remy gains the upper hand, which impresses Carolus so much that the bounty hunter joins him. After years of terrorizing the Lord's men and foiling his tax collectors, a favorite pastime of Remy's according to the Orlesian commoners, Remy was supposedly betrayed by his lover, Servana de Montfort, in some versions of the tale a mage of the circle no less, and captured. After more than a year of torture, Remy was rescued from prison by his compatriots, including a repentant Servana, and together they escaped Orlais. In this period of Remy's adventures, he appears almost everywhere in Thedas. As his legend grew, more innkeepers and merchants were happy to claim that the Black Fox had visited their village or establishment and performed some legendary feat. If the tales are to be believed, Remy led the Lord's men on a merry chase. He became embroiled in political intrigue in Navarra, was hunted by the crows of Antiva, and then kidnapped by a powerful mage in Tevinter. In each situation, Remy escaped death at the last moment, foiled the evildoer, and improved life for the poor and downtrodden. Then, inevitably, he rejoined his band of adventurers and moved on to the next land. His companions, Corollas and Servana, the wise dwarf Bolek, and the temptress knight Sir Clementis, have each spawned their own individual legends over the years. The stories all agree that, at some point, the Black Fox disappeared. He and his fellow adventurers voyaged into the heart of the Arlathan forest, seeking the sunken city of the elves, and never returned. Many more are the tales that expand on what ultimately happened to them in that forest, and postulate on how they could someday be rescued. From The Adventures of the Black Fox by Gaston Girault, 9/11 Dragon. It makes me think of, like Black Fox, Blue Wraith, which is Fenris's name in the comics post DA2. I'd be curious to see kind of what that means for the future. Let's go up here. The Imperial Chantry. This is the Black Chantry. I hope you guys are entertained. There are those who would tell you that the Chantry is the same everywhere as it is here, that the divine in Val Royeaux reigns supreme in the eyes of the Maker, and that this fact is unquestioned throughout Thedas. Do not believe it. The Maker's second commandment, magic must serve man, not rule over him, never held the same meaning within the ancient Tevinter Imperium as it did elsewhere. The Chantry there interpreted the rule as meaning that mages should never control the minds of other men, and that otherwise their magic should benefit the rulers of men as much as possible. When the clerics of Tevinter altered the Chant of Light to reflect this interpretation of the commandment, the Divine in Val Royeaux ordered the clerics to revert to the original chant. They refused, claiming corruption within Val Royeaux, an argument that grew until, in 487 Towers, the Chantry in Tevinter elected its own legitimate and uncorrupted Divine Valhale, who was not only male, but also happened to be one of the most prominent members of the Tevinter Circle of the Magi. This black divine was reviled outside Tevinter, his existence an offense to the Chantry in Val Royeaux. After 4 exalted marches to dislodge these rebels, all the Chantry in Val Royeaux accomplished was to cement the separation. While most aspects of the Imperial Chantry's teachings are the same, prohibitions against magic have been weakened, and male priests have become more prevalent. The Circle of Magi today rules Tevinter directly, ever since Archon Nomerin, the elected in 734 stormed directly from the ranks of the enchanters, to great applause from the public. He dispensed the old rules forbidding mages from taking part in politics, and within a century, the true rulers within the various imperial houses, the mages, took their places openly within the government. The Imperial Divine is now always drawn from the ranks of the first enchanters and operates as Divine and Grand Enchanter both. This is utter heresy to any member of the Chantry outside of Tevinter, a return to the days of the Magisters, which brought the blights down upon us. But it exists, and even though we have left the Tevinter Imperium to the mercies of the dread Kunari, still they have endured. Further confrontation between the Black Divine and our so-called White Divine is inevitable. From Edicts of the Black Divine by Father David of Carinus, 811 Blessed. Oh shit. Okay, Fen. What up?
Agrigio Pavali. There are 6 bottles in the cellar. Denarius used to have me pour it for his guests. My appearance intimidated them, he said.
I can see why you're intimidating, my dude. We're gonna flirt with Fenris too. I think it's gonna come down to either Fenris, Isabella, or Anders.
I can't imagine why they would be put off.
You say what's on your mind. I'll give you that.
Chug, chug, chug. Whoa.
It's good I can still take pleasure in the small things.
You could have offered me a glass first, you know.
There's more, if you're really interested.
Perish the thought. How else would you redecorate the walls?
A I've wanted to leave my past behind me, but it won't stay there. Tell me, have you never wanted to return to Ferelden?
I have no home left to return to.
The Blight is over. You could rebuild what you lost. Do you truly not want to?
My mother came from Kirkwall. Our heritage is here.
Having a place where you can put down roots, I understand. Still, to have the option must be gratifying.
No.
You've been on the run a long time then.
3 years now.
Damn.
Denarius has a way of finding me. Perhaps it is the markings. Whatever the means, it never takes him long to follow. This is the first time I've given him reason to pause. I suppose there are advantages in numbers.
Haven't you sought help before?
Hirelings, when I could steal the coin. Never anyone of substance. Until you. Denarius will not give up, however. I await his return.
What if he does give up? What then?
Then I go to him. I will not live with a wolf at my back.
Sounds like the right idea to me.
If it comes
Gotta
to that,
kill him off.
I doubt it will.
You could track your former master down, I assume?
I imagine he has returned to Minrathous, though I dare not go near the city while he is alive.
Fair.
No, it is better to wait for him to leave his fortress. Fight from a fortified position. I do not expect your help when that day comes, but I would not turn it aside.
Do you intend to keep living here?
I haven't decided. For now, it's as good as any other place. I would return to Saharan if I could, but there is no life for me there.
Is that where you're from?
So I've been told.
Were you very young when you left then?
Perhaps.
Jesus.
Maybe it's just me, but it sounds like you want to stick around.
I could see myself staying, for the right reasons. I should thank you again for helping me against the hunters.
Yes, you should.
Had I known Ansel would find me a man so capable, I might have asked him to look sooner.
You sound like you're about to ask for a loan.
Well, this mansion does require some upkeep. Perhaps I'll practice my flattery for your next visit. With any luck, I'll become better at it.
A tee. Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
We should move on.
I think Bianca's gotten scratched.
Your hair looks funny in this light.
Eat shit, Isabella.
Have I mentioned that I don't really like it here?
Alright, History of Kirkwall, Chapter 3. I think we've read this completely out of order at this point. The Qunari first thundered into Kirkwall in 756 Storm during the last of the new Exalted Marches. The collected nations of Thedas were attempting to drive the Qunari from the northern mainland once and for all. Qunari armies were on the retreat, but in a desperate gamble, their fleet circled around the Amaranthine coast and landed a great force near the marcher city of Ostwick. Their plan was to overwhelm the marcher cities of Starkhaven and Kirkwall, Starkhaven to block the roads leading north, and Kirkwall to block the ships on the Waking Sea coming from Orlais, all in an effort to deny supplies to the Thedas armies assaulting Ravane. The attack on Starkhaven eventually failed, but Kirkwall was attacked in a daring night raid where the Qunari used their leashed Cerebus mages in an unprecedented display of sorcery. The walls were torn down and the city was taken, and for the next 4 years Kirkwall endured the most brutal occupation of its history. Writings from this time are scarce. It was not until after the city was freed that the Qunari's deeds came to light. Children were taken from families, forced conversion to the Qunari religion, and brutal labor camps. It's ironic that the old slave quarters of Lowtown, still intact after centuries, provided the perfect means for the Qunari to control the city's people. When the famous Orlesian chevalier Sir Michel Lafille rode into the city after finally defeating the Qunari defenders, he wrote, "Kirkwall is full of people with empty eyes that have had all independent thought driven from them." When Lafille was appointed the city's first Viscount by the Emperor in 760 Storm, he made it his mission to undo the religious conditioning. The Lafille bloodline remained popular enough that when the city finally rebelled against Orlesian rule in 805 Blessed, Viscount remained the enduring title for Kirkwall's rulers despite its origins. From Kirkwall, the City of Chains by Brother Genitivi, 924 Dragon. Alright. I kind of like what Fenris has done with the place. He's just like, his sword's there, he's got a bed in the corner, pile of clothes, a lute that I don't think he's ever played. Like, chill. And then presumably he's turned one of these rooms into a bathroom. Like, all in all, it's probably not a terrible setup. It'd be a little creepy to live in a big-ass mansion like that alone, but like, you know, could be worse. Let's go talk to the Viscount. See about saving his son. Your child needs saving. Hello, I shall do it for you. We'll at least get the quest moving. And then we'll probably wrap it up in the near future. Oh, we can go bug Aveline too. How you doing, big girl?
Getting in. I've been waiting all day.
There she is. I knew there'd be another cutscene.
So, what can I do for you? Maker knows I'm none too busy. If there's something you need, I'm with you.
Still hard at work trying to please adopted Kirkwall.
It has been a challenge. Lots of opportunity, if you're the type the locals want.
Are you?
If you argue enough, you kind of convince yourself.
Aww.
It's been a year settling in.
I feel like I've asked some of these. I don't remember.
Are you all right?
You don't need to coddle me. I am where I am. How close I hold my memories is my own business.
I think we've had this conversation.
The Blight is over. You could go back to Lothering.
That wasn't home for me.
Yeah, we've had this conversation.
Just where the Horde pressed us. It wasn't the first village I saw fall.
We have to wait through it now.
You
My
don't
bad.
get used to people losing everything.
You had something you thought I would be interested in.
The ambush, yes. Sundermount, when you're ready. I'll give more when we get there.
That's right.
And no, you can't run off and do it without me. I trust you, but I have to be there. You're acting on behalf of the Guard.
Okay, so we have a quest with Aveline to accomplish. We will work on that, I think, Wednesday.
That corner looks dusty.
I will probably continue to stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday for now, unless
Insist
something
if you
happens.
must, but Viscount Dumas will see no one. If you've news of Seamus, I will relay it to him.
Fine. Tell Dumas my scouts have tracked the boy and his Canary captor to the Wounded Coast. I'm taking a full company after them, and when I return, I expect him to make a show of the reward.
So many to deal with one Kunari seems excessive.
He may be Tal Bashoth. The Winters leave nothing to chance.
The Winters.
Get out of my bloody way.
Eat shit, lady.
Yes. What is it?
If this is about a rescue, that woman did not seem the type.
She is the type I feared we would attract. As I told the others, Viscount Dumas' son, Seamus, is missing. We suspect he was taken by a Kunari. If you would like to try your hand at securing his safe return, feel free. I have certainly granted no exclusivity to the Winters and their violent approach.
Fair enough.
There must be suspicions about why the boy went missing.
Why? What have you heard?
Nothing. Until now.
There is truly nothing known. He is gone, and there have been sightings of a Kunari. The only complication is that Seamus is known to be of a sympathetic mind. He may have placed himself in danger, but it is danger nonetheless.
Was Bran always a redhead? I feel like in Inquisition when you talk to him, he's actually got like super dark hair.
The Kunari are not wild in the city. Petition their leader for the boy's return.
The Arishok has declared that it is not his role to do so. Apparently their rebels, the Tal Vashoth, are hunted anyway, killed for what they are, not for what they may have done. That does not bode well for Seamus.
That's fair.
This isn't a task for a guardsman.
There is a concern of appearance. If we used guards, it would allow Viscount Dumas' opponents to say this admits the Kunari threat, because the city responded. In these times, public embarrassment is preferable to official embarrassment.
Fair enough.
I should know about the competition.
The Winters out of Navarra. They don't care one whit if Seamus is returned unharmed. Their lead, Syrah Guinness, is hungry for a foothold in fair Kirkwall. And frankly, we have enough of their kind.
Ready the reward. He'll be back in no time.
Declare it if you like, but the reward goes to whomever brings him back safe.
Fair.
A discussion you are welcome to have with the Winters, should you encounter them on the Wounded Coast.
He gave us a hint. He must like us. Though from what I remember, Bran is thoroughly annoyed by us most of the time. And I mean, who can blame him, you know?
Not going to happen.
Okay.
If you kick that wall one more time.
Please keep it quiet, sir.
I want to kick the wall. Leave me alone. Kicking the wall is fun. Okay. So the only other thing we have here is Darktown. What is that quest? Right, Ninette. We can at least head in that direction. And then I will probably wrap it up here. Because today is one of those rare days where Dave has a day off, so I'm going to enjoy it and hang out with my husband probably. Though there might be a nap in my future, we'll see. Squeak, squeak.
Rather be free down here, I guess.
You people have nothing to say, really?
Why would people want to live underneath the city? Apart from dwarves, I mean.
Don't say that to Varric.
You know what I love about the Undercity? Absolutely nothing.
If you keep prodding me like that, I'm going to start taking it the wrong way.
Isabella, you'd probably take it the wrong way anyways. Alright, we'll hit up the meeting place and then we'll see what's up. Looks spooky.
And here we go again.
We don't...
Get back. Come back here.
Loot the body.
Better luck in the next line. Another wing!
Die.
I
Easy
thank
enough.
you, Syrah, for coming along when you did. I am Emmerich.
You're older than I thought you'd be. Ninette seems to go for the young, pointy-eared sorts.
What?
Ninette de Carac. I hear she got around. And you were asking about her, so I just...
Oh my god, Hawk.
assumed.
Preposterous. I was concerned that she was in danger, and that is all. However, the investigation has been a waste of time.
Why?
That sort of attitude will never pay off.
Ha! I was eager at first, but failure has leached all enthusiasm from me. This all started when Meren, one of our circle mages, disappeared. I found it odd. She was a bit older and hardly adventurous. Then I heard about Ninette and 2 other missing women.
I had a friend who disappeared once. Turns out he was under my bed, drunk.
Was it Hawk?
What?
I think the disappearances are connected. and I suspect foul play is involved.
Doesn't the Circle use phylacteries to keep track of its mages?
We followed her phylactery to a foundry, but found nothing. I had heard of sympathizers smuggling mages through Darktown, so came here hoping to pick up the trail. But no trace of Merrin. And as you've seen, asking the locals hasn't made me very popular.
Fair enough.
Have you mentioned any of this to the city guard?
They say there's no proof the disappearances are connected. They think the women just left home, that it happens all the time.
People don't just disappear. Perhaps they were murdered or kidnapped.
We found no bodies, no ransom notes. Those women just vanished.
I'm fairly certain, correct me if I'm wrong, this is related to what happens to Leandra in Act 2, Act 3?
Mages routinely flee the Circle. Perhaps Merrin just wanted freedom.
Am I right?
She had always been loyal. She received lilies from an unknown suitor.
Oh, yep, it is.
And some of us thought she may have gone to meet him. Perhaps her disappearance is linked.
Don't you hate it when something goes missing? I lose things all the time.
What?
The women? They're missing and you can't find them?
Ah, right. I cannot lie, Sirrah.
Oh,
I
right.
tire
Like
of
he forgot what he
searching.
was doing.
This battle showed that I'm no longer the warrior I used to be. I know when to walk away. Here, take my findings. Perhaps you can make more use of them. I'm going back to the gallows. I'm too old for this.
Too old for this shit.
A foundry in Lowtown. I should look into that.
Sounds like Varric. Getting too old for this shit. Ooh, pile of boons. I'll take that. Okay, can't dip through there. Might as well loot the area. Look at this body just floating there. Just in cases. Oh, look at that. Look at the bones. No? No one? It's a Monty Python and the Holy Grail thing. They're talking about the rabbit, the feral rabbit, and he goes, "Look at the bones." Okay, good to know that I entertain myself at least. God, these faces are creepy. They're like, agony. Okay, I think this is probably a solid place to save for the day. Missing ladies. With lilies. That's a good save name, right? I don't know. At least I entertained myself. Either way, I'm so glad that you guys came and joined me for today. I hope you had a lovely time hanging out with me. If you are new, please don't forget to hit subscribe on YouTube, to subscribe on Twitch, and if you guys want a little bit of an update here and there on things I find out about Veilguard or my opinions on stuff, make sure that you're following my Twitter down below. And otherwise, I will see y'all on Wednesday. Bye!